Hi, I'm Alicia, and welcome to my Operational Innovations channel, where I focus on process tips, techniques, and strategies to help you level up in the area of project management, product ownership, and small business operations. So today's topic is part of my small business operations part of the channel, and it's the small business health check. We are at number 10, attitude of gratitude. Now, I can't believe it. I started this series and had no idea where I was heading when I started it, but what a ride it's been. And it's not just been my perspective. You've heard from experts in certain areas, you've heard from other entrepreneurs who have the same struggles in a particular area. And there's been a lot. There's been a lot. And so I invite you to check all that out when you go to the channel. Now, I'll put a link to the original launch video down in the link below. But this is it. This is the first one that I'm having a time to talk about this concept, number 10, attitude of gratitude. I have already done an interview on this one. It is with Lorraine Aguilar, and I'll go ahead and post that down in the comments below. So as I've mentioned, I've been an entrepreneur before, and over those times, these are the types of things that I thought about and I learned, kind of lessons learned, if you will, about what are the types of things that help me thrive even in today's climate. I mean, last year was amazing, and this year I'm still continuing to thrive even despite everything that's going on in 2020. So I invite you to think about, what does this mean for yourself? Share your tips, and maybe adopt some practices as a result of this message. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So as I mentioned in my last video, my number 9 video, Give Something Away, I mentioned this idea that number 9, Give Something Away, and number 10, Attitude of Gratitude, were connected. And I really believe that. I believe they are inextricably linked together because they are both about this attitude and mindset of abundance and being grateful. These two just go together. And so what do I mean by an attitude of gratitude? For me, it's about appreciating people, humility, self-acceptance, saying thank you, respect, being credible, living up to my reputation. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a bit. And then finally, as I was preparing for this and thinking about, this concept of attitude of gratitude, this final thing really hit me. And releasing judgment is another one of these things that really contributes to an attitude of gratitude. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a place for judgment, but when you lead with that all the time, you lose sight of all the great gifts that come along with life. So let's give a definition. Gratitude, the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for, and to return kindness. The Latin root word is gratus. Now, the cool thing about this is, and I'll talk about this in a minute, but gratis is a root word for a few other things. So let's talk about that. So why is an attitude of gratitude important? I think taking nothing for granted is one of those things, at least for me. And I have a hashtag here, don't be entitled. And that's just a reminder to myself that nothing just, nobody owes me anything, right? And so just having this spirit and this attitude of gratitude for things that come your way. The second thing of importance to me is acknowledge your connectedness to other people. And so I think we realize a lot of that in this current climate between COVID-19, race riots, economic crisis. I think and then all of the things going on with climate and weather. I think there's a way for us, or an invitation for us, to realize how connected we are together. So for me, this attitude of gratitude is very much deeply rooted in that. And finally, and this is what I was going to mention before, the third thing is grace. I try to bring a measure of grace to the work that I do, and whether it's coaching work, whether it's organizational change work, whether it's public speaking, whatever that is, I try to bring some grace. Now, do I always get it right? No, there's a lot of stuff that's clunky, and scrappy. But I have a spirit of grace for sure. And that's the word that shares the root with gratitude. It's from the same Latin root, gratis. So let's keep going on this topic. What does my practice of an attitude of gratitude look like in real life? Well, I would say a number of things. Daily acknowledgement of gratitude. I'll show you a couple of photos here in a bit, but in my bullet journal, I have a page that's right after the month page. That's just a day of, a whole page of dedicated to gratitude. And so every day of the month is acknowledged there. You have an opportunity to really think about each day. What were you grateful for? And I take stock in that. The second thing is meditation. I've started a meditation practice on Peloton, which I'm super excited about. And they've got 5-minute meditations and 10-minute meditations. I never even thought I could be a person to meditate because I can't focus for longer than like 2 minutes. So the practice of meditation has actually been great. And one of the things I'll say about that is, when you release judgment from it, it makes it a lot easier to do. Thank you notes are the third thing that I like to do, and very much a la Jimmy Fallon, like I do them regularly, so that's something that I have in my real life practice. And then if you've ever worked with me before, you've heard me say this at the end of a talk that I've given or at the end of a training class that I've done. I say thank you. It's been my honor to be of service. And so this is another one of these things where I just don't take anything for granted, and I know that things that come my way are not by accident, but it's something for me to take stock in and appreciate. So the next thing that I'll share is about this idea of, or actually just walking you through some of the practices and some of the things that I have in place. And this just gives you a sneak peek at, what's behind the curtain. So this is my June spread for my bullet journal. And this is really how every month looks. It's just a little bit different layout. And I'll put my link to my fourth video, plan your work. And I talk about bullet journals and spreads and all this kind of stuff. So this gratitude page is just one that I like because it's simple, it's not complicated, you just draw it out, and then every day you have this invitation to think about what's important to you and what you can be grateful for. So that I appreciate. The second thing, this is on the concept of really the impact of an attitude of gratitude. So this is from my good friend and colleague, Mary Jane Ralph. She and I worked together many years ago in direct sales. She's still in direct sales, and she's an international director for a company called Cabby. I'll put a link to her page below. And I saw this, she just posted it to Facebook. She's just a fantastic spirit of gratitude. And I just loved this quote, and so I just put it in here because it's a daily reminder to start each day with a grateful heart. And one of these things I'll say is that this really contributes to well-being. I'm going to put a couple of links below in the description for this video that talks about the impact of gratitude on wellness and well-being. And as you know, being an entrepreneur can be super stressful. So what's a way that you can, start each day with a great spirit? So this regular practice of thank you notes is something that I've done for years, and I hand make my envelopes and my thank you notes. These that you see here are handmade. I just make them out of, scrapbooking paper, and it's one of those things that I do while I'm watching TV. And I just keep a bunch of these around, and I mean, you don't have to do this. I'm just saying that this is, my practice, and I love the spirit of just taking a moment to thank somebody for something that they've done to help you. And that acknowledgement is, and when it's handwritten, that adds another level of meaning for the person that receives it. We think that in this time, 2020, where everything's an email and everything's, electronic, that people don't appreciate this. It actually stands out more when you do it in this current time, because nobody anymore is doing the handwritten thing because we're so accustomed to the electronic means. So it definitely stands out. And you talk about branding, right? How do you brand your business and yourself as a professional? This is one of those ways that you can absolutely do that. So finally, when we think about the attitude of gratitude, just to summarize, it's really about this abundant mindset, the combination of giving something away and then having that spirit and that attitude of gratitude, having a daily or regular practice around your gratitude work, and really having prompts for it. You know, that page that's in my bullet journal is really a prompt. You can put an app on your phone. I just downloaded one the other day, Remindly. I'll put a link to that below too. You can put a Remindly link or reminder in your Remindly app to just really think about a gratitude practice at the moment when you set it to remind you. So that's another way that you can do it. If you're not old school and want to write it down like me, you can absolutely put it in an app. And then the next thing is about credibility and reputation. This kind of goes back to what I was saying before about professional branding. And when people think about your business and you, what do they think about? You know, what's the word or what's the feeling that comes to mind for them? And so this whole idea of an attitude of gratitude, it's what speaks before you have said a word when you walk into a room. It's that spirit and it's that energy. And a lot of it comes from your feeling of well-being. So all of these things are important and they're all connected together. So that is an attitude of gratitude. Thank you for joining, folks. I invite you to share your input, your insights, your tools. What are the things that you use for your spirit of gratis or your attitude of gratitude? Please go ahead and share them in the comments below, because you know we're all in this together as small business operators. It's tough out here this year, and so what are the things that we can do to share and lift up and build our community? So thank you for watching. It's been my honor to be of service. Please stay tuned for the next series. In the small business pro tips, actually the small business pro tips are what's coming up next. So that's in the small business operations series. The pro tips are what's coming up next. If you like this video, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share, and any engagement that you can give. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps me as a creator, and it helps my messages be seen on YouTube with the algorithm. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notify button. So that way, when the next thing comes out, you can be notified and you can follow along. So thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing you next time.